Don, you said it exactly right. It's just like a heavyweight matchup, almost like Joe Frazier versus Muhammad Ali between these two AAA foes. Officials urge you to be safe in the heat, whether if you're playing sports, working out, or even running. You can tell this is football weather right here. Week 1 football weather. It's raining, it's storming, and it's all for a big rivalry matchup. He announced on social media that he will be transferring from the Mountain State to Mississippi State to finish out his collegiate career. Tubing for 12 News, I'm Riley Holsinger. Running just 1 mile is a lot for some people. Now imagine running 48 marathons in 48 days. That's what retired Police Sergeant Brett Sabrowski is trying to do to honor a former comrade. Sabrowski's former co-worker and Rochester police officer, Anthony Mazurkowitz, was killed in the line of duty this past July, less than a year before his planned retirement to spend more time with his family.
To raise the attention that this man gave his life protecting the community that he loved. And the other one is to provide emotional and financial support for his family, for his widow, for his grandchildren. And that's really been the two goals of this, to show his family that we'll never forget his sacrifice.
Now, Sabrowski is legging the way to try and fundraise $100,000 for the family through what is being called the Marathon of Marathons. So far, he has raised around $70,000. Sabrowski is running through 8 states for Maz as a tribute to his unit's designator number and his larger-than-life personality.
Every state that I tick off is just, in my mind, is a huge accomplishment, so I'm one state closer to being home.
He started the run in Florida, and the country roads are taking him on his way back home to Rochester, New York.
This has never been easy. There hasn't been one day where I said, oh, this was an easy day. Every day is a challenge.
A challenge that Tony motivates Brett through.
I think of Tony the entire time when I'm out there.
And with every mile, his memory lives on.
My hopes is that his family will always know that we will never forget Tony's sacrifice, that we will always support them until the day we're not here. And that's the ultimate thing, is that to let that family know that he will never, ever be forgotten.
Sabrowski is expected to finish his run on June 11th in Rochester, New York. Catching up with him in Moatesville, Riley Holsinger, 12 News. With WVU's Boxing for Power program, these boxers aren't champion hopefuls like Muhammad Ali, but are instead trying to knock out their day-to-day problems of dealing with Parkinson's disease.
That Parkinson's diagnosis can be very daunting, and a lot of people see it as a life sentence.
10 million people around the world, like 89-year-old Tom Covey, are going the distance with the disease.
Parkinson frequently starts just as an aging process. So when somebody's getting a little older, I'm just getting older, there's no problem. But Parkinson starts off in that fashion, and then you begin to stiffen up and lose your balance.
Program co-founder Cheryl Brandmeier notices that patients have issues with balance and walking when they enter the program.
And they keep coming back. Exercises are hard, but they still come back for more.
Participants receive one-on-one instruction where they exercise and do cognitive challenges. The program is giving these patients a puncher's chance.
We see delayed disease progression, which is one of the real main goals of our program. And that's the one thing that we know is exercise is medicine.
Medicine that is helping those like Covey win his fight.
Well, I can do most of the things outside that I could before I started this.
He encourages anyone facing a similar bout to hop in the ring.
Anybody who wants to keep active and delay their disability from Parkinson's disease or other aging processes should certainly enjoy doing this.
Those interested in joining the program can contact the Human Performance Lab. Reporting in Morgantown, Riley Holsinger, 12 News. There's no doubt that Morgantown's Irene Riggs is the best cross-country runner in the area, state, and country. But earlier this morning, Riggs tried to prove that she's among some of the best in the entire world. Riggs earned the right to run today in the U20 World Cross Country Championships in Bathurst, Australia, as a result of her finishing first in the U.S. Championships. the reigning Gatorade National Runner of the Year, battled it out with 49 other top female competitors from around the world, and she dominated. Riggs finished 12th at the championships with a final time of 22 minutes and 3 seconds. Not only did she see individual success, but she helped lead the United States to a bronze medal finish, which just so happens to be the first time the United States ever finished with a team medal in the event. Irene isn't the only Riggs sibling that had success this weekend, though, as her twin sister Caroline dominated over the past few days at the state swim meet at Milan Park. Caroline snapped her own state record in the girls' 200-yard breaststroke en route to a state championship in the event. She didn't stop at breaking her own records, though. The state's 100-yard breaststroke record and first-place plaque now belongs to Caroline as well. Riggs was also a part of the Mohegans' 400-yard free relay team that became state champions. Let's jump right into the action. And speaking of jumping, Seth Youngkin, he's dunking here. And then here we have Steve Kennedy. Passes over to Christian Montague. He banks in a 3. He led West Liberty with 30 points. The Hilltoppers were solid beyond the arc as Bryce Butler drains a 3 here. He had 27. Now Kennedy wraps around the back here, cuts to the hoop for 2. Black and gold have a 3-point lead, and Butler drives in, and Chaz Hines finishes the job. That ties it up at 22-22, but you can't spell West Liberty without Alec West. The Hawks play second out of 40 teams, and let's head out to the 175-pound championship bout to see University's Luca Felix versus Cameron's Adam Angel. Felix, trying to get the takedown here on the edge, drops to the ankles and is able to stay in bounds here to pick up 2. Now Felix is on the attack again, takes a shot, but you're going to see him go for a reshot here in that far side ankle pick to pick up another takedown and the championship as he wins 4-2. Robert C. Byrd kept the momentum going in the second half as Thomason is able to poke the ball loose here for Charles Hawkins to take it coast to coast to make it a 2-possession game. But basketball is a game of runs, though, as Noah Sears makes it a 2-point game here, which then leads to Maddox Piron to get the go-ahead tray to fall. Lincoln kept on the attack and was able to go on an 11-point run to start the quarter, which gave the Cougars a 46-40 lead at one point. Robert C. Byrd went on nearly a 3-minute scoring drought early in the fourth quarter until Hawkins scored that 2 right there. But ultimately, the Eagles couldn't make a comeback happen as Lincoln goes on to win 54-50. Over the course of next week, more than 100 top divers from across the country will be competing here at Milan Park in hopes of bringing home a 2023 USA Diving National Championship.
All the best divers are here in town this week,
including a few former Olympians to go along with some Olympic hopefuls like Ohio State diver Lyle Yost.
That would mean the world. Obviously, we're only about a year out from trials and from the Olympics, and of course, that's on everybody's mind.
But like many others, Yost needs to take it one step at a time and one dive at a time.
Well, I've been training really hard with the ultimate goal of punching a ticket to the World Championships this summer, so that's what I'll consider a success at the end of this week.
Top finishers at the event will qualify for the World Aquatic Championships, which will take place this July in Japan. The U.S. can also qualify for diving in the 2024 Olympics at that event. Other top finishers from the USA Diving National Championships can qualify for the U.S. Olympic Team Trials, which will be held in June 2024. It's not just the athletes trying to make a splash on the national stage, but also Milan Park to cement itself as a world-class facility.
This is definitely a dream for a facility to be able to host this caliber of event, and if we keep knocking it out of the park, then we'll keep potentially having the opportunity to get bigger and bigger events.
The championships will continue through next Wednesday. Reporting in Monongalia County, Riley Holsinger, 12 News.